Oh, yeah. The underground king is here. He's out from the underground. In fact, Eddie, you're ready to go to the mainstream with this big announcement. All right. One championship, Turner Sports, the one on TNT event series. It's going to kick off April 7th, every Wednesday night on TNT in the US. Look, big news for one. How about big news for Eddie Alvarez, the co-main event here? Talk to me about this. This is I would say, the rightful step forward in one making that move to compete against the other great MMA or promotions of the world.
Yeah, so this was everything I envisioned when I joined one. My goal was to go back to Asia, to Tokyo in particular, and give them fans. They were a huge part of the beginning of my career in 2008. So going back to Asia and fighting in front of my fans there was like an important thing for me. But the ultimate goal was to bring one championship to America. And this is the first step in a series of steps to get that done, and to put on an explosive show, a show that the American fans have yet to see. And it's just talked about. It's talked about a lot here in the United States about how big one championship does their shows, the production value, the fighters involved. And now we're finally going to be able to get to see what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I know the promotion had big plans, of course, as did we all, right? For 2020, and then that COVID thing got in the way. But look, this is a primetime window. Wednesday nights, a 3-fight main card, 10 p.m. Eastern, 4 cards across April, and no shortage of star power on that April 7th kickoff one. Demetrius Johnson in the main event, challenging for that flyweight title against Adriano Moraes, and you in the co-main here against, am I pronouncing this correctly? Iuri Lapicus? Am I close here, Eddie? All right. Much respect.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about what this means for you. Look, co-main event here, lightweight division. You're 1-1 since debuting with the promotion in 2019. For anybody that hasn't seen your every movement the last couple of years, talk to me about the significance of this fight for you.
So for me, I'm chasing history. This is the most important fight of my career, because my career's been a long journey, 17 years, constantly reinventing myself and innovating and becoming a new mixed martial artist and a new fighter as I grow as a human being. So reinventing myself, getting my third world title, and I'll be the first fighter in history to capture every single major world title. It takes a long time to do something like that. It takes a love of the sport, a love for martial arts. And I think it's history that won't be broken for a long time to go. So this is my first step in that journey to do that. And Iuri is in my way.
You know, you've been counted out before. You've reinvented yourself before. I mean, look, when you made your UFC debut, people are like, oh, this Bellator guy's never going to be able to hang. Do you feel like you're counted out again because you did lose your debut in one? And a lot of people were excited to see you. You went out there like a gunslinger in 2019, like we know. You suffered a loss. You rebounded. Do you feel like there's that narrative again? Well, he's 37. How good could Eddie Alvarez still be?
Yeah. So, and I've grown to become accustomed to that. People's opinions, if I actually followed them or I was concerned with them, I would have never won any world championship other than multiple world championships. So people's opinions I hear them, but I don't listen to them. I guess if you can word it like that. What's important to me is continue to grow, compete at a super high level, and put on shows that people grow to love. So and that's what I do time and time again. So for me, I'm a young 37. I have never tried to speed up this process. I've never done an enhancement drug. This is my supplement of choice, some coffee, and I've done that for the past 17 years. So there's still a lot of fight left in this dog, and judging by what I do in the gym with the younger up and coming generation, this show will be something spectacular.
You know, I love to hear you say that the nice little speech there. You know, I've this cup of coffee, maybe some bitches and hooch. That's my only vice here. No PEDs. But I love that you say that, because there are a lot of us who just assume, well, everybody's on PEDs. You can't compete these days unless you're on PEDs. Do you feel like being an outspoken sort of clean athlete that you faced many a guy who were on PEDs throughout your run?
Oh, in 17 years of fighting, yeah. I mean, I'd be a fool to say that, because when I first started in 2003, you know, to even deal with any sort of testing was foreign to anyone. So yeah, I look at it this way. It's a personal choice. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the athletes. If that's their choice, and it's just not for me, and it never will be for me. So like, when I'm done, I'll look at the man in the glass and I'll be happy with what he achieved, and know that I did it with an honesty and a truth. And I'll know who I am, who I truly was at the end of all this. So that's most important to me. So that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, huge respect for that. The Underground King always keeping it real here. Lapicus, 14-1. He is coming off his first defeat of his career last October, a TKO1 loss to Christian Lee. Are we going to see fireworks, because that's an calling card for an Eddie Alvarez fight? What does he bring to the table, Lapicus, that might change that?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people get mixed up with like being a guy who is unknown and being good, being people think if they're popular, that must mean they're good, and vice versa. If they're unpopular, that must mean they're not good. This guy in particular is a sleeper. He's a killer. And some of the best guys I've ever fought in the gym were virtually unknown. People didn't know him, and they were still making their journey and their path to become a champion. So I feel like he's one of them guys. You know, you don't go 13-0 or 14 or whatever he was until his first loss without being really good. He's well versed. He's relaxed. He's a veteran. He's been fighting since he was young, and he's well rounded. He's good everywhere. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know when you're undefeated and you take your first loss, that you come back with a certain desire, that, you know, and a certain spirit that that is going to be tough for any man to deal with other than myself. But I'm up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it.
Look, Eddie, we've seen you in so many organizations. You've had so much success everywhere. And when you were a free agent, we didn't know where you were going to go. You chased more titles. What? You chose one. It seemed like financially a great move for you. I certainly don't expect you to come on here and be like, yeah, the last 2 years have blown. But what have been the pluses and minuses from this decision now that you're a couple years into it, where you were a much sought after free agent a couple years back?
It's separate for each athlete, right? We all have our own separate contracts. We're all treated differently. Personally, this has been the best treatment I ever got from a company, from a personal standpoint. So, you know, I wanted to go where I was valued, and I think every athlete should. So if you don't feel like you're being valued and you don't feel like the company has your best interest in mind, I would suggest to any athlete or any fighter out there to start looking elsewhere. And I feel like that goes for anyone. If you're a plumber, if you're behind the desk or wherever you're at, if you feel like every day you're walking in a place and you're being severely undervalued, you should probably have that conversation with your boss and tell them, look, I don't think this is going well for me or you. And I think we should probably change some things. So I think that was sort of my, you know, where I stood, and one valued me. They valued what I do, and they valued the effort and the history that I bring to the sport. So I was happy with everything, and I'm still happy.
Did you have to relocate to Asia? How did you work that out with the training camps and with the large adjustment of competing now on the other side of the globe?
No, I train at home. I train in Pennsylvania. I do a lot of training in New Jersey with my team, and also in Pennsylvania. And then they tell you, hey, go here and fight on this date. And I say, all right, where's it at? They send me the location, and I go. It could be in Singapore or Philippines or Tokyo. It could be here in the United States soon, and I'll be there. So it's never been a big deal for me. I've had a lot of practice throughout my career, going to other countries, Russia, Canada, Costa Rica, you know, parts of Asia. Going other places is exciting. It's fun to see new things, meet new people, and then give them the fight of their lives.
That's been your calling card, as we mentioned. Do you have a room where you keep all of these world titles. I mean, you fought for Dream, Bodog, Elite XC, UFC, Bellator. Now you're looking to get a one championship. Is there like a special shrine in the Alvarez Casa where it's just like the whole career in front of you?
There actually is, and it's usually behind me whenever I speak with someone. But I'm traveling now. I'm in Colorado. I'm just doing like a little bit of week of training here, and that's all. And so I got my I'm staying with a buddy in an apartment, so nothing behind me right now.
Okay, I can respect that.
Everything is right in here.
Speaking of free agency, what your great rival Michael Chandler was, of course, one recently, left Bellator, signed with UFC just last weekend, had an incredible debut. I remember when he was going through that free agency process, he was like, I don't know how, when, or where, but I can't end my career without fighting Eddie a third time. I'd love it. Do you still feel that itch to fight that man because of the two all-time great classics you put on?
I don't think he would. I think he's had some opportunities to fight me again. I called Mike when I was a free agent. I called Mike before he became a free agent. I called him on his cell phone, and I told him to become a free agent and that we could sell that fight to any company. And he agreed. We had a small conversation, and then he went and re-signed with someone. So, it was something I put on the table that I wanted to do. I wanted us both to capitalize off it, but it never happened. He found value somewhere else. So I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. That debut was a beautiful debut. He went out there and showed his true potential, what he can do. And, he could be a possible future champion.
I agree with you on that. And it certainly, he's had the same type of crossover impact as you did coming in as an ex-Bellator champion and then making some big statements there. Do you love your chances in a third fight? I mean, how much do you itch for that outside of reaching out to him and saying, hey, we can capitalize on this. It'd be a great financial opportunity, but are you itching to settle that war, or is it more like if it happens, whatever?
I don't need Mike Chandler for anything. I've pitted myself against the best guys in the world over and over and over, more than any lightweight out there. My resume speaks for itself. No one has a resume like mine, and no one ever will. You can go as far up as Khabib to Conor. No one has the resume I have from fighting back to back to back, champion after champion after champion. So my record may not be undefeated, and if you're fighting at a high level and you're always fighting champions, it won't be. So my record is truth. It's what fighting really looks like. You lose some of your fights when you fight at the highest level. So that's just how it goes. But no, I don't need Mike Chandler for any kind of feeling of satisfaction or anything like that. I think
I might need it. I might need a third one, Ed. That's just me talking. All right. I might need to see how that ends. Okay. It's like a movie. It's a cliffhanger right now. All right. It's a good series.
Mike may need it. I don't. Maybe a promoter, maybe some promoter out there will need it and he'll pay for it, and then he can talk to me. But I'm looking to chase history now, not chase past opponents. I'm chasing my third weight major world title, and it's a record that just won't be broken for a long time.
Yeah, you've proven you can do that wherever you go. Speaking of former opponents, I'd be harassed if I didn't ask you your thoughts on Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, two former opponents of yours, trading gloves. Poirier becoming the first man to stop Conor McGregor. Was that surprising at all for you?
It was surprising. But the way he did it's the exact way that I did an analysis call with Ara Hawani. And I mapped out the fight where I thought Dustin could have his best chances of winning. And it's kind of exactly picture perfect of what I thought he could do to win. And he put a sprint on him. Mike Brown had a really good game plan of chopping that lead leg down. They chopped that down really well. And then Dustin put that sprint on him that Dustin does so well. And caused panic. Caused Conor to make mistakes. Conor wasn't able to stay on the outside and be creative, and Dustin put him away. He has the power to do that. So, hell, if anybody deserves the accolades and that kind of victory against at a big crowd. It's Dustin Poirier. He's fought the best of the best in that division, one after another, and he should enjoy that victory.
Absolutely. Do you think Conor is finished on the elite level? Do you care about that at all?
No. I think, look, I think it's difficult to fight, with $100 million. I mean, it's very simple to fight when you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You almost have to fight. It needs to become part of your character in order to be successful. You need to become a fighter. And he's done that. And he showed that he can do that and beat the best guys in the world when he's motivated and when he's hungry. And he's got to sit down, reevaluate some things, and then find that guy again that he was. And I think he's inside of him. It's just a matter of bringing him out, evoking that ego, evoking that guy again. It's going to be his own choice and his own desire.
You never stopped being that guy, win or lose. So let me play with your ego for one quick second. Poirier, you had 2 fights with. He went on to fight Khabib, got destroyed. Conor, you had a fight with. He went on to fight Khabib, got destroyed. Hey, even that guy, Justin Gaethje, who you went to the deep, dark depths of hell with and came out standing, good God, did he get destroyed by Khabib? What would it have looked like? Eddie Alvarez against Khabib Nurmagomedov.
I'm his only matchup that would make any sense or give him a terrible time. There's one guy who gave him a terrible time in the whole division, and this is just the truth. T-Bow gave him a terrible time because T-Bow was able to match. T-Bow is not overly great at anything, and neither am I. I'm not overly great at anything. We say, oh, what is Eddie great at? I'm not great at anything. I'm not a great striker. I'm not a great wrestler or a great jiu-jitsu guy. I'm athletic. I have a strong spirit, a strong heart, and I will fight. I'll fight to the death. So T-Bow had a good, solid game plan, and he arguably won that fight. You know what I mean? So and he was able to match Khabib's strength. He was able to throw good straight shots, and he was able to negate a lot of Khabib's wrestling. That's what I'm able to do against virtually every opponent I fought. So styles make matchups, and anybody who's in this sport at a high level knows that. And I think just that matchup in general would have been something special.
Woo, getting me fired up over here. Love it. Love the confidence. Can't wait to see you back. And that, of course, is going to be Wednesday night, April 7th, 10 p.m. Eastern, when ONE begins the first of 4 fights on TNT. Going to air live in the U.S. Wednesday evenings. You're going to be taking on Iuri Lapicus. Let's close with this. How much longer can Eddie Alvarez keep doing this? Because I've learned not to count you out. You bounce back from defeat or criticism or whatever, and you just keep plugging away. What other goals are out there? How long are you going to keep this amazing career up?
It's not like it's people ask that to me, and it's a very difficult question to even answer because fighting's become a part of my character. It's who I am. It's what I do. So they ask, oh, how much longer are you going to do it? I'm like, I never wanted to do this shit in the first place. It just kind of, it evolved into it evolved into this monster that I never dreamed it would be. I just found myself at 19 years old in front of 75 people in a basketball gym, fighting another guy and for virtually no money. Actually, I think I paid $250 so I could fight. And it evolved into this, and so I'm not going to start making plans now at 37 about what's going to happen. I'm just going to, I'll leave it to the Lord. I'm in his hands, and I'm going to keep moving forward, keep working hard, and chasing history.
We'll check it out. The next step, April 7th. Eddie Alvarez, always a pleasure, sir. One of the best quotes in the game for life, brother. Great chatting with you. Best of luck.